Good morning, Hockey Nation fans. This is your non-live update. Although it may show up as live, I don't know how I'm doing this. It's going to be weird. It's Friday, November the 18th, and last night, I think, is the end of the Detroit Red Wings Western Road swing, although tomorrow night, they will play the Columbus Blue Jackets. And it was a barn burner. It looked like the Red Wings had this thing in hand, and then they did not. San Jose Sharks were the last stop after losing to the Kings and losing in overtime to the Ducks. They completed the trifecta of Western Road games in San Jose, and this was a wild one for sure. So coming out of this, the Red Wings are now 8-5-4, which is a pretty good record. I mean, I can't really complain about it, can you? The Sharks, however, were coming into this game with a 3-game winning streak, which kind of got everybody's attention. And we know Erik Karlsson's having a crazy year. Well, his stats side of things did not stop last night. What is really crazy about this is how terrible the defense and the goaltending were on both sides. It was just a wild one. Only 3 power plays for the Red Wings and 1 for the Sharks. So that was interesting. The Red Wings again out hitting their opponent, blocking more shots. They didn't quite win the faceoffs last night, but these are consistent stats for them. They usually have been doing all those things, as well as out shooting their opponents, but not last night. But they definitely outscored their opponents. The game got started off. Kevin Labanc got scored in Brooklyn represent, Long Island boy, making it 1-0. But then Filip Hronek scoring from David Perron, who played very well last night, by the way. This is, along with Kubalik, both these signings have been excellent for the Red Wings, big upgrades for the team, making it 1-1. Then Matt Nieto on a very strange goal where he was kind of falling and just had like a flutter shot that went through Husso, made it 2-1. So coming out of the first, it was 2-1. It's like, ooh, what's going on? But then second Perron, I have watched this several times. I really thought Larkin scored this. This was basically like a 3-on-1, I believe. And, the puck kind of came back when Kubalik back to Larkin. Perron went to the net. I did not see it touch Perron. I've watched this multiple times, but they give the goal to David Perron. Kubalik played very well in this game. Again, really important signing. So that's really working out. And then Jake Wallman from the point on this one made it 3-2. So suddenly the tides turn. And then the third, Joe Veleno, who had taken the only penalty for the Red Wings early in the game, and some of the Sharks went after him. He gets on the board. Again, I watched this one over, and I'm really happy to see when Jonathan Berggren gets points, because now he's got 3 points in 4 games. So I think you're just going to see this guy continue to be a point machine. Really talented, really smart. He played very well last night. But the puck went back and forth between Joe Veleno and Pius Suter a couple times, and I'm trying to understand how you give Jonathan Berggren an assist on this one, but they did. So good for Jonathan Berggren. I will take it. And then, man, he was like, "Oh man, you're in trouble here. We got you 4-2. Oh, never mind." Logan Couture scores. Erik Karlsson in on both of these goals. He had 4 points on the night. Then they tie it up. You're like, oh my goodness. Can you guys stop something? Never fear. James Reimer flubs 2 here. Moritz Seider from the point. From, again, David Perron. Did Perron have 3 points in this game? He had a goal, 1 assist, 2 assists. We'll look at the stats, but I think he had 3 points in this game. Played real well, for sure. But, man, it was like out of control. There was no control. But Reimer really gifted this. This should have been – I don't know if this should have been in, to be honest with you. But Moritz Seider gets his first of the year, so that's good news. For Moritz Seider, this is the type of game where you pad your stats if you're a skater. And in this game, the defense for Detroit were pinching in quite a bit. With Wallman, Hronek, and Seider all getting goals. And then Pius Suter, who, again, playing really well, scores from Kopp. But this was honestly a James Reimer flub where he came out of the net, tried to play the puck Piester just kind of went around him and fired him into the yawning cage. So that was kind of a terrible play by him. Andrew Kopp gets an assist. I'm not blown away by the Andrew Kopp signing so far, but he is getting on the board, so that's good. And then Dominic Kubalik gets an empty netter. It was fired down the ice. He won the race and then kind of tapped it in the open net to make it 7-4. It was crazy. And Larkin getting his 12th assist. So everybody got to pad their stats a little bit last night. There were 7 different goal scorers if you weren't counting. Pius Suter gets 2 points, goal and assist. No points for Lucas Raymond and -2 in this game. That was unfortunate. Joe Veleno getting his 4th of the year. I think that's a good news story. Keep scoring, Joe Veleno. Dominic Kubalik, a goal and an assist, but he played very well. I think he was probably, I don't know. I mean, David Perron was probably the best forward, and then I would say followed by Kubalik. So these are 2 offseason signings, 3 points, goal, and 2 assists for David Perron. Nothing going on for Bertuzzi. Defense getting in on 3 of the goals. So absolutely no point coverage for them. And I don't know if James Reimer's eyes were closed the whole night. Like the Wallman goal, he was sitting there like this. This glove was up in the air. And it was like he was frozen. You're like, okay, well, at least, he obviously didn't see it. Ville Husso, not amazing with an .840 save percentage. Do not worry. He was not the worst goalie of the 2 last night. That would go to James Reimer. 21 shots, I think he had last night. Well, they're saying 20 here. I thought it was 21. Didn't we see 21? Yeah, they had 21 shots on goal. I guess they counted the empty netter. So he only had 20 shots. So I guess, yeah, the empty netter counts as a shot. 700 save percentage. 30% of what you threw in net went in. Yeah, this was great. But you could see, like, not great. San Jose was kind of running around. And, Erik Karlsson still ends up a -1 with 4 points on the night. I think that puts him to 28 on the season. So, I don't know. He's thriving in the chaos. It was an interesting game. Saturday's matchup, Columbus Blue Jackets. There were a ton of games last night, which we could just take a quick look at. Looking at the schedule. So they got through the toughest part of the schedule. They have kind of a more of a normal schedule after this. Saturday night at Columbus Blue Jackets, completing a long road swing. They're finally back at home on the 23rd. They'll have 3 days off to kind of rest and get practice. And they're going to have 4 games in a row at home. I haven't checked the December schedule, but to end November, Nashville, Arizona, Toronto, Buffalo, all on the slate. Now, last night, I will just quickly recap some of the other games because there were some interesting ones. Let's take a look at those. Oh, boy. I'm just going to go to this view. Calgary Flames continuing to kind of struggle here. I know we debated this the other night, and I just don't see this turning around. I think they're just on the bubble or not in the playoffs. I don't see it getting better. 4-1 for the surging Tampa Bay Lightning. I think I've said this numerous times before when they were kind of in the basement. I'm like, they're going to leapfrog a whole bunch of teams. That is exactly what's happened. This Carolina Avalanche game was a very good game. Evan Rodriguez, his 6th of the year power play goal. I mean, honestly, in this first, I thought Carolina outplayed the Avalanche, and then Rodriguez gets that power play goal, and they went up 1-0. You saw a great game. I thought it was pretty good goaltending from both sides. Really nice to see Alex Newhook getting his 3rd. We said he's really cold so far. The OT winner for Arturi Lehkonen. Sebastian Aho gets on the board, and he missed a couple opportunities. He was snake bitten. He had 7 goals in his first 11 games and then nothing since. So it was good to see him get back on the board. He was very, very determined to score last night. He missed a glorious opportunity in the first, kind of cross-checked the boards. So this was a great game. I think this is maybe the best game of the night. Oh, my goodness, the seesaw story, the up and down of the Florida Panthers, the Paul Maurice-led Florida Panthers continues. They lose to a very good Stars team, but 6-4. Panthers 9-7-1. This is crazy. Rupe Hins, Lundqvist, Ben, Sagan, Hins again, Ty Dellandrea. The unfortunate thing was Scotty Wedgwood left this game on a stretcher with an apparent back injury, so that was not good news. Carter Verhaeghe continues to score for Florida. He is showing, he's doing really well. Matthew Tkachuk gets on the board with his 6. Sam Reinhart's getting some points finally. He's kind of been struggling this year. Luosterainen, the loser in this game in the Nets was Spencer Knight. If you're Montreal Canadiens fans, which many of our fans are, 6-4 for the Canadiens. I will not recap this, but Cole Sillinger getting on the board was good news for Columbus. Montembeault was not amazing. Korpisalo was not amazing in this. Jesper Bratt, Nico Hischier, and the overtime winner for Yegor Sharangovich as the Devils continue their 11th in a row, beating the Toronto Maple Leafs, who have also been playing very well. This was a very good game, actually. Matthews and Nylander had a real nice goal. I thought it was kind of a nice little rifle, but nevertheless, overtime, Matt Murray getting the overtime loss. However, the Leafs do get a point, so 3-2, best outcome here. Possible, I would say. Flyers not looking great here. Again, Carter Hart continue to try to keep them in, but the big bad Bruins continue to crush everybody. I think they're on a 10-game winning streak. Ullmark getting the win, 4-1 here. It was close after the first, but even after the second, it was 1-0 Bruins, and then it got tied up. But then it was, the power play goal from Jake DeBrusk proving to be the go-ahead, and then a couple of insurance goals by Krejci. Ullmark getting the win. The Ducks are back in the L column. No surprise here. Troy Terry having a really good year again, though, and so is Zegras. So those are good news things. But the Jets win 3-2. Kyle Connor has really not been scoring a lot. Well, forget that. Thank you, Anaheim Ducks. Kyle Connor getting his 3rd, his 4th, his 5th goal of the season. Jets win. Kyle Connor wins 3-2. Preds have take a look now. They were like 4-8. They're now 8-1. The Predators clawing back in, which I figured they would, getting in their winning ways here. 5-4 regulation win. No overtime, no point for the Islanders. Islanders are 11-7-0. Real good game for Philip Forsberg. Look out now, Nino Niederreiter, who's always kind of like streaky, getting his 8th. Penguins pulling out a win over the Wild. Wild fall below 500. Penguins go up to 500, 7-7-3, 7-8-2. Both teams, I think, are going to have a hard time making the playoffs. But Sidney Crosby crushing it last night. 2 goals. I think he got an assist. So he had a 3-game. He had 1 assist or 2. I think he had 3 points last night. I really want to check this. Let's see. Maybe I made that up. Chris Sworn he had an assist. Oh, he did have an assist on the Letang goal. So 3 points for Crosby. 4. He got an assist on the Gensel goal. 12 assists on the year. Pretty good there, Sidney Crosby. 21 points. Who said this guy was done? He is not done. Still lots of great hockey left in Sidney Crosby. Sid the Kid. Not so much a kid anymore. The Blues. The Moms on the road trip. Ryan O'Reilly, you should have seen that goal from Ryan O'Reilly, by the way. That was the game tying goal, I think. And then Blues winning in overtime. No, this is a shootout. Sorry. They didn't win in overtime. This is a shootout win. But the Ryan O'Reilly goal was pretty cool. I think it came into him, and I can't remember who passed it. And without looking, he backhanded a beautiful shot. That was a great goal. If you get a chance, go watch that. John Carlson getting a pair last night, including a shorthanded and a power play goal. But Blues win 5-4. Capitals 2 games below 500. So, the lack of star power in Washington catching up to them now. Golden Knights back in the W column, beating the Coyotes, who are now suddenly 6-9-1, which is where you would expect them to be. Golden Knights 14-4-0. Mark Stone getting on the board. I don't know if he's played much. That was his 5th game of the year. Okay, he's played much. Peter Angelo power play goal. Win for Logan Thompson, who gets back in. Riley Smith having a Riley Smith up year. That's good. And then the Kraken beat the wow, the Rangers just continue to not be dominant here. I think they might miss Ryan Strome. Geez, the defensive conscience is gone. 3-2 overtime loss. They get a point out of it, but the Kraken are 9-5-3. Justin Schultz getting 2 goals last night, and we already talked about the Red Wings. So that is a recap of last night's very busy schedule. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Check out the mini games on Saturday. There's games tonight, which I won't get too much into. I'll just tell you what's on the schedule tonight. Oh boy, I don't even know what's on the schedule. I'm not going to worry about it. Let's look. I can't, as I say that. Let's look. New Jersey, Ottawa, LA Kings, Vancouver, Calgary, Florida, Pittsburgh, Winnipeg. There's a lot of games tonight. Holy moly, is this real? This is a very unusual, busy night. Pittsburgh, Winnipeg, I mentioned. Buffalo, Toronto, watch that one. Buffalo having a hard time. Chicago, Boston. Ooh, Boston is not someone you want to be playing for. Chicago, Colorado, Washington, bad matchup for Washington. And then Detroit. That looks like Saturday games to me. I thought the Red Wings, those are Saturday games. There's only one game tonight. I'm so sorry. LA Kings and Vancouver. That looks really busy for a Friday night. It's not a thing. Only one game tonight. Check it out. Thanks for tuning in. Please hit the likes and subscribes, and we will see you on Monday with our live recap of the weekend, including the review of what happened between Columbus and Detroit.